The Silent Betrayal by voice of Sophia. Captain Alex Carter stepped off the plane, his breath cold in the night air. The city of New York loomed before him, its towering skyscrapers flickering like distant stars, both familiar and foreign. The bandages on his face itched beneath the weight of the past decade. 10 years. A life stolen from him in a foreign prison, a life framed by the betrayal of his own childhood friend. His footsteps echoed on the tarmac, each one heavier than the last. Every inch of him felt like a ghost returning to a life he didn't recognize. A man who once had everything, a wife, a son, a future, now stood alone, wearing a new face, one sculpted by the hands of military doctors. The surgeons had reconstructed his features after a prison infection left him disfigured, but no amount of surgery could heal the scar in his soul. As he walked through the bustling terminal, people brushed past him, unaware of the storm he carried within. He had nothing left but his desire for revenge, and the question that haunted him: what happened to Emily and Lucas? His phone buzzed in his pocket. "Your wife isn't dead." The text was brief, a cryptic message from an anonymous number. It carried a chilling promise, one that rattled him to the core. He had lived for years under the belief that Emily, his beautiful, strong-willed wife, was gone, killed in a tragic accident orchestrated by Ethan Mitchell, the very man who had betrayed him. But now, this message begged a question that Alex didn't want to entertain: was it possible? Could Emily have survived? Before he could answer, the phone went silent, as if the world was holding its breath. Alex shoved the phone back into his pocket, but the seed of doubt had been planted. The darkness of his past was far from over. Back in San Antonio, Alex began the painful journey to confront the remnants of his life. The house where he had once held his son, Lucas, in his arms was now abandoned, the windows dark, the lawn overgrown. The doorbell rang once. Twice. No answer. Neighbors peeked from behind curtains. But Mrs. Thompson, an elderly woman who had once been a friend, dared to speak. "They said it was a car accident," she told him, her eyes filled with sorrow. "You weren't there." "We all thought," she hesitated, as if saying the words aloud would make them more real. "But I've seen things, Alex. Things that don't add up." The truth hit him like a blow. His wife and son were gone. Or so it seemed. As the days dragged on, Alex's doubts grew. A second mysterious letter arrived, delivered in the dead of night. It contained nothing but a photograph: Emily lying in a hospital bed, pale but alive. There was no note, no return address. Just the haunting reality: someone knew more than they were telling. The questions piled up. Who was helping him? And why? And more importantly, why now? After all these years? The investigation led Alex to Los Angeles, where he tracked Ethan Mitchell, his former best friend, now the owner of a sprawling business empire. Ethan's new life was everything Alex had once dreamed of: power, wealth, influence. But it was all built on the back of deception and greed. Alex infiltrated Ethan's luxurious mansion under the guise of an associate, learning about the deals Ethan had made, the underhanded tactics he had used to climb to the top. But the deeper Alex dug, the more he discovered that Ethan was only a pawn in a much larger game. Late one night, while hiding in the shadows of Ethan's office, Alex overheard a conversation that chilled him to the bone. Ethan wasn't just a businessman, he was connected to a secretive, shadowy organization, one with ties to the highest levels of government and military. The conspiracy that had stolen his life from him went deeper than he could have ever imagined. The truth became harder to bear with every passing day. Sophie Mitchell, Ethan's wife, once a kind woman, had been part of the scheme all along. Alex discovered that she, too, had been manipulated, forced into a marriage with Ethan for the sake of securing her wealth. She was a prisoner in her own home, desperate to escape. But Sophie, torn by guilt and fear, confided in Alex. She admitted that Ethan had never truly loved her, that his only obsession was money. She also revealed something far darker: Ethan had orchestrated the entire death of Emily, not just to get rid of Alex, but to remove her as a threat to his own empire. Alex had thought he knew betrayal, but this was far worse than he had ever imagined. The conspiracy escalated as Alex began to unravel the web of lies surrounding him. Just when he thought he had everything under control, the ultimate twist hit. Colonel Thomas, the man who had been helping him, his old army commander, was revealed to be a key player in the conspiracy. It was Thomas who had arranged for Alex's imprisonment all those years ago. The people Alex trusted the most had all been complicit in his downfall. The army, the government, and Ethan had been working together for one purpose: to destroy Alex Carter and cover up their own corruption. But Alex wasn't going to let that happen. He staged a daring assault on General Hale's private gala, an event attended by the most powerful and dangerous men in the world. But it was a high-risk plan. If he failed, it would cost him everything. As Alex fought his way through the mansion, mercenaries on his tail, his heart raced. He wasn't just fighting for revenge anymore. He was fighting for the truth. The final twist sent shockwaves through the film. As Alex confronted General Hale, the truth was revealed in a shocking moment. Emily had never died. She had faked her death to protect Alex from a far more dangerous fate. She had been working with the same people Alex had been hunting, trying to protect him from afar. The woman he thought was gone, the love of his life, had been silently fighting the same battle. In a tense, emotional scene, Alex and Emily reunited. There were no easy answers, no perfect resolutions. But as they embraced, Alex finally understood. The battle for revenge had been necessary, but the fight for love and redemption was the true victory. As the camera pulled back, Alex, Emily, and Lucas stood together, reunited at last. But the war wasn't over. There were still shadows lurking in the world, people like General Hale who had their claws in everything. But Alex no longer cared. His family was whole again. And for the first time in a decade, he could see the light at the end of the tunnel.